He is Jody Rainey from the Heritage Conference. The president of the conference joins us this morning. I do want to talk about the Heritage Conference, but it just came to my mind, and I thought I'd ask you about the flu at Homer Center. Has it gone through the student body like it has at some other schools, or are you pretty safe right now?
It has. I think we're hopefully on the backside of it. Our nurse has definitely had an increase of traffic in her office, but so just trying to get the kids to take the precautions, wash the hands, and don't come to school with a fever, those types of things. So, yeah, I think it's gone through the county for sure.
The poor nurse at the school. Every kid that has the flu comes through, and she has to deal with them all. She's exposed, is what she is.
She's earning her keep for sure.
Mark Birdie just shook your hand and got your germs that you brought with you. No, you're not sick. Yeah. Jody Rainey, of course, president of the Heritage Conference. And Jody, the atmosphere last night at Purchase Line, I assume it was that way at Ligonier Valley and will be that way tonight at Blairsville and Penns Manor. Fantastic. Folks are so looking forward to this Heritage Conference Championship week, aren't they?
They are, and very excited. And we certainly hope that last year far exceeded our expectations and spoke volumes of the community. I think, everybody coming out from different schools to support their friends and stuff to go to other schools. I think last night, what was kind of interesting to me at Purchase Line was in our student section, our cheer section, we actually were joined by a few students from United who come over to cheer for us. And I saw a couple Marion Center varsity jackets making their way over to the Purchase Line cheer section. And so I think that's what it's about. It's about creating that atmosphere for our basketball teams, but also it's developing those friendships across the different schools in the conference. So we're looking forward to a great night and a great turnout on Friday night. So
that north-south rivalry thing was going on, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure that had. I think football season had a little bit to do with it too, and some other things. But that's what it's about. I mean, it's kids are more connected today than in the past with cell phones and technology and stuff like that. So, it was a great atmosphere last night. Unfortunately, Homer Center came out on the wrong end of it, but I'm very happy. Unknown fact is my first varsity basketball coaching experience was as Steve Woodrow's assistant at Purchase Line, and so I'm very happy for Steve, and I have a lot of friends. I spent a lot of years in my career at Purchase Line, so very happy for them, and wish them the best of luck on Friday night.
So Purchase Line, Ligonier Valley, that's the boys' final, and tonight we'll figure out who the girls' finalists will be. Homer Center visits Penns Manor, West Shamokin at Blairsville, and so we'll get them all together, 4 teams in the Kovalchick Complex on Friday, and I know that there are so many things behind the scenes that we're not even aware of that have to happen in order for this game to occur, these games to occur. And one of the big things is you need to have people to help step up and help you with sponsorships and things of that nature, and a lot of people have.
Yeah, I think that this doesn't happen without our corporate sponsors, and S&T Bank is our primary sponsor, and none of this would be possible. Last year would not have been possible without S&T Bank. And our secondary sponsors, they're so numerous that it's very hard to list them all. But I think the thing that's important their sponsorships in this event at the KCAC, the glue behind it all is Marianne Labrinos down at the KCAC. I mean, Marianne is very much our point of contact for our sponsorships. She plans every detail. And I think the difference, what happens is, Marianne, the details that she plans, it takes this from just a championship game to a championship experience. And, so I'm very happy about that. And the success last year, the turnout of the community to support the event, is enabling us to do 2 other things at Friday night. We're going to be presenting our scholarships that we do annually to a male and female from each of our member schools. So we'll be giving out over $5,000 worth of scholarships at the game on Friday night. Our conference has given out, after this year, over $35,000 of scholarships since 2004. And we're also going, and I talked to you about this at the post game last year at the game, we're actually having an art exhibit this year too with there's going to be over 30 works of the best artists across the Heritage Conference that will be on display in the upper concourse. So, I'm very excited about, the basketball game, but I'm also very excited the fact that the Heritage Conference, I think what makes this a premier conference and a unique conference is we're going to touch all 3 things that are at the core of our mission on Friday night. Academics, that we're going to be presenting scholarships. Athletics, we're going to have 2 great championship events, and we're going to also activities or the arts, and we're going to have the art exhibit. So we're touching all 3 things in one night that are at the very core of what we believe in the Heritage Conference.
I think that is what makes, you use the word unique, it absolutely does make the Heritage Conference unique among all of the athletic conferences all across Pennsylvania. There's no other conference doing what's happening here.
Not that we know of, and like I said, and we have so many talented kids, we just want our kids to have those experiences and opportunities. And, and I really want to emphasize it was because of the support of the community and our sponsors last year that enabled us to be able to do these other things, to increase the value of our scholarships that we give our students for their post-secondary pursuits, and also to set up an art exhibit that highlights some of our kids that have outstanding gifts and talents that, having an atmosphere where if we can get 3,000 people in there again this year, that's exposure for those kids, and that's great, and that's an opportunity that we can't duplicate anywhere else.
Jody Rainey is with us. He is the principal at Homer Center High School. He is also the president of the Heritage Conference, and all of the athletic directors, all of the schools are thrilled, I know, by this. And you mentioned that community aspect of it, and other schools come and root. And what I noticed last night was football coaches from some of the schools were there, football players. It's more than just a basketball thing. It's an event. It's a school event for the entire Indiana County school community, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think the thing that, I've said many a times, and I want every kid across the Heritage Conference. I'm tired of listening to that we're not, our conference isn't as strong as this conference or that conference. Every conference has teams that have outstanding players and talents, and have teams that go through cycles where they struggle. And Heritage Conference is no different. But, I want our kids to believe that they can compete against anybody across the state. Obviously Homer Center football proved that this year, playing for a state championship in football. So I think that, like you said last night, it's the community. I was just so amazed at the KCAC last year that just I knew we have a lot of basketball fans in Indiana County and our outlining schools that touch other counties, but wow, the turnout last year was incredible. And again, I love that friendly competition between the schools. I love it.
We really noticed last year as well, District 6 officials, schools from all throughout district that didn't have a game themselves scheduled on that night. People were coming from everywhere, all across the region. There probably were 1 or 2 college scouts there, too, taking a look at some of the players involved in these games.
Yeah. Well, and all that for $5?
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, the championship event at the KCAC, you get 2 quality games. You get the experience of that, the atmosphere. This year you're going to get to have an art exhibit, and you're going to get to see some of our best scholars across the conference get recognized, all for $5.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And, and anybody that's interested in getting their tickets, the KCAC box office, they're available now for $5. You can also get them online at iuptix.com. There is surcharges for online orders, but like I said, it's just a celebration of our conference, and it's extended over. Like I said, we this year for baseball and softball, we're going to have a Heritage Conference championship baseball and softball game. It's going to extend over to volleyball next year. So there's a lot of great things happening across the conference, and I do have to give credit to the principals and the athletic directors from our member schools, because all of them have a part in all the different things that we do. And, it's their commitment to the conference and, their commitment, more importantly, to the students in their schools to provide these championship experiences for them. It
is going to be a fabulous night on Friday night. We still have 2 big games happening tonight. And, in addition to those, the teams that aren't in the semis, there's some crossover games coming too. So those seasons still remain alive. These teams are looking forward to next week tune-up games, getting ready for District 6.
Yeah, it is. And, we're going to have a lot of schools in the Heritage Conference being represented in District 6 play. And so that's an exciting time. And the crossover matchups, I think it gives you a chance to have a competitive game, and it's kind of like the crossovers we do in football too. I think it's for the pride of your section, and stuff like that, and it's just a great thing for the conference, and it's a great experience. If you had, maybe it's a season that was not as great as you hoped for, you still have an opportunity to play in some competitive and meaningful games to conclude your season. So I do think I like the way the crossovers line up, and tonight, wow, these are going to be two fantastic basketball games tonight. Yeah. I mean, West Shamokin going down to Blairsville, two outstanding teams. And tonight, we got our girls from Homer Center traveling out to Penns Manor, two great schools and great teams there. It's sad that somebody's not going to get the chance to go to the KCAC as a player. But you know what? That's what the atmosphere in playoff basketball should be about.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay. Cough into your elbow. Have a wonderful day at school today. And I imagine we'll be seeing you in Kenwood tonight.
You will see me in Kenwood tonight. Obviously, I'm cheering for Homer in case anybody needs to ask. Everybody knows I graduated from Penns Manor, and I live there. I've lived there my whole life, but I will be in my black Homer Center attire tonight and cheering my guts out for the Wildcats.
He's Jody Rainey from the Heritage Conference. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
AM 1160, WCCS 101.1 FM.